What up, guys? So this video, gonna be getting the G ready for this drift event. And hear me out. The drift event is on the 29th and the 28th of this month, December, and today's the 8th. And just yesterday, I figured out my water pump's leaking. If you know, you know. On these, it's an internal water pump. You gotta take the whole front end off and the timing cover off to be able to get to it. But the only thing good about it is that the gallery gaskets are right there too. So when your gallery gaskets start going out, which happens with just higher mileage, especially if you're ripping on it, the gaskets will start to rip and you'll lose oil pressure. And so it's probably gonna blow up sooner than later. So not wanting to blow this motor up, I'm just gonna do them both at the same time. And those come tomorrow, and I already got the water pump. And I was already planning on getting these other mods in there. The poly motor mounts, got poly diff bushings, I got solid subframe risers, and I do already have the water pump, like I said. So I'm just gonna do it all at the same time. So hopefully I get all this stuff done within like a week's time. It really shouldn't take any longer than that. And then we can start just kind of doing maintenance and getting everything else ready for the event. So I'm about to clean the shop. First of all, gotta clean the shop. And then jack this thing up and get started. So for pulling the subframe, a rear subframe out of a rear-wheel drive car, they're almost all the same. All you got to do is take anything that's connected to the chassis of the car, the body of the car, away from all of the suspension, including the subframe. So you take the brake calipers off. That way you don't have to disconnect the brake lines or re-bleed them. You take the drive shaft off. You get the exhaust out of the way. You get the e-brake cables, which a lot of people forget. And then you just drop all 4 subframe bolts. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. It seems like some huge job, but it's really not. I'll insert a clip of me working on my E46 that I have right now too, and I just did that same thing to do the reinforcements. What up? We're over at Dexter's shop right now, fixing the E46, doing the subframe repair. Welding this thing up. So let's get started, guys. I got the wheels off. So what I'm gonna do is start taking these calipers off and then move to the other side, get the exhaust, and go from there. So when you get the calipers off, you're gonna wanna hang them up so it's not just hanging by the brake line. And so you can just throw a zip tie right through one of these coils right here. Bam, easy. Because you have to take this off anyway so the subframe and the rest of the suspension can come down. So this is gonna be hanging there too anyway, so works out perfect. So now that I got the exhaust off, I custom fabbed this myself, so I made it pretty easy to get on and off, but it's super easy. Just 2 bolts right there at the Y pipe, and then 1 bolt for the hanger and another bolt for the rear hanger. So now we're gonna move on to taking the drive shaft off. It's super easy too, just 4 bolts right there, and then the handbrake cables. And once I get the drive shaft, I'll show you, but it's super simple too. For the drive shaft, they're just 4 bolts. These swivel sockets are amazing. Definitely recommend those. Just get it right on there. Snap it loose. Just like that. And sometimes you just kind of hit it out of there with your hand, or you can get a hammer and just kind of tap on it and it'll come loose for you. Then for the handbrake, you can see right up there, it's just one of those deals where you move this over to the side, pop this cable out, and it'll come right out. And you just take that bolt off, and then these little like hanger things, just slide them right out of there like that. Just to give you guys a closer look. So you just turn this way to match up with that little slit and pop it right out. So now you can see I got the bolts out for the subframe. There's just one on each corner. Just right there. Dude, the underside of my car is so dirty. I went off track the other day and it was muddy and snowy and wet. And I definitely caught some good mud. But anyway, so I got those 4 out now. Drive shaft off. The handbrake cable's off. I got these little diff connectors unplugged. And then it's ready. The calipers off and the struts disconnected. So it's all ready to come down now. You don't have to take any arms off. You don't have to take the diff out. You don't have to do none of that. It can all come down as one. So as you move it down, you can see the whole subframe coming down. I'm gonna just take a big old pry bar like this. And these front ones just naturally kind of wanna stick right there. And so you just take a curl bar, just lift them down as you go, and you'll be all good. So now the whole subframe's out. I think I might give this thing a clean up. It is pretty musty under here. But anyway, so as far as the bushings, these are the stock ones. And even just moving it around, like, it has play. So that's why you replace these with solid ones, so it has no movement. You're not gonna get variable alignment as you're drifting, basically. And so what you do is take a Sawzall, stick the blade in there, cut around it, and you make one slice down this metal collar. It's like a metal sleeve right in there that the bushing is connected to. And you just make one slice, don't go too far into the subframe, and then take a chisel and a hammer, and it'll come right out. That's what you do for all 7 in this case. There's a 4 subframe, there's a 1 big diff bushing back here, and then there's the 2 smaller diff bushings right there. It's always gonna be ugly and messy, but you basically just use a combination of a Sawzall, and these are a huge help. This wheel bearing remover set. I think I got this for like $100 on Amazon a while ago. Just comes with all these discs. You find out which one fits over the collar, because a lot of people might put it on that lip, but that lip needs to come up. So you need to get something that fits over there. Find one that fits in there, and then one for the bottom. And then there's this threaded portion on the bottom, which you just tighten up and keep tightening with the impact and wrench holding it, and it'll suck it up all the way through. So we got it to this point now. This is just about to, just like that. So now I got all the subframe bushings out and all cleaned up. Now it's time for the diff. So you got 2 right here, and then this big one right here. So all I did was roll this back and lift it up, take off the 4 sway bar bolts, 2 on each side, just move it out of the way. And then in this orientation, you can kind of just lift the diff up and out. And you have to take off the axles as well. So I'm gonna lift the diff up and out, take these bushings out of the diff, and then the notorious big one at the back, which everybody has a hard time with and everything, but that bushing set makes it pretty easy work. So let's get that done. Headphone user warning. Check me out. Whoa. Bam. That is how it's done. Easy work. Make it easy on yourselves, guys. I got the new bushings, and a hack is to put them in the freezer so they kind of shrink down just a little bit. And just take a hammer or a mallet and just tap it on in. And make sure you just follow the directions. They should come with them, whatever ones you get, to make sure you have them in the correct orientation. For these, since they're risers, You can either put them in the rising orientation, 5mm raise, 5mm raise, or it tell you which spacers to use for the OEM. So let's get those in, then we'll move on to the diff bushings and back in the car. I got all these in, all the solid subframe risers, and all I did was got a socket big enough to fit over flat and just hammered it right in. All right, diff bushing in the rear is in. These two are in. And now, just like we took it out, I'm gonna lift that up, turn it this way and drop it in. And you just gotta make sure that hole, this goes right through it. Just set it in there. I do have a diff brace, which connects to your subframe, so I just left it right there and took these two bolts out. And so just set it on there right. Bolt up the diff itself first, and then start connecting the axles and everything back together. And I took this end of the sway bar off to give me some room. All right, so now we got the subframe back in the car. So we're just gonna tighten up the drive shaft, put the e-brake cables on, do the calipers, the struts, and connect some of these connectors. And that'll be it. All right, guys, the subframe is back in the car. Got the wheels back on, it's ready to go. I'm gonna go test it out just to see how it feels. I'm excited. I know I said I'm going to do everything at once, and I am, but the gaskets ain't even here yet. And I actually got a job I'm going to do tomorrow on my boy's car because he needs it done pretty urgently. And while I'm already waiting for the gaskets, I might as well get his car done real quick. So let's get to it and see how these bushings feel. Alright guys, so the car feels great, bro. It feels great. Okay, just for instance, right? Let's say you're in a corner and you're trying to push outwards close to something, right? You're trying to go wider and get real close to a curb, to the edge of the track, to the edge of the street, whatever it is. Your car just floats and it's so predictable. It doesn't change. It doesn't kind of bobble. Like when you're on all the stock bushings, you kind of got to remember and expect it to like kind of bobble a little bit and you know, make corrections for that. But not no more, bro. It's just smooth, super predictable. It's so worth it. A lot of people look over bushings in general, and just like this car, like before I've done any power mods, that's all I'm gonna do in the first part is just take care of the suspension and make sure it's all feeling right before you start adding more power. It only makes sense, it feels the best, and you get more use out of your car. Like when I had my first E46, that thing was bone stock, the lowest trim you could get, the least power, and I did all the suspension mods first, and I mean, I was banging second, and it was going great. So just keep that in mind. That's it for now. What's up? So update time. Sorry, I skipped over some things. Just trying to get it done all in today if I can, but took the front end off, obviously. That's not crazy hard. And then starting to take apart the whole front timing cover now. So as you can see, got the AC condenser and power steering pump and alternator and all this stuff getting taken apart so I can get this whole case off and get to the water pump and the gallery gaskets behind there. And the dope thing is that those motor mounts I need to install are gonna be super easy since it's already right there. Because the thing is, those nuts on the top, when everything is in here, you can imagine how hard that is. I literally had to make a special tool just to get it done. So, yeah. So I'm gonna keep plugging away at this. As you can see, got the cover off. And this is what we're after. These gaskets that are right behind these plates will sometimes start to come out, and then once they come out, and it's inevitable, it's going to happen at some point. And with 163,000 miles right now, definitely should be done. So replace those. But the whole reason we're here is because this water pump is probably original from the start of the car, so it's probably corroded back there where those O-rings are that seal it in. So we're gonna pop that out, replace that, replace those, and I got a whole new pack of seals for all these gaskets and seals, and then continue on. What's up, y'all? Man, it's a good morning. It's all nice and wet outside. I got my heater going. The HR's getting there. So we got the gallery gaskets in there, all torqued down, and the water pump. And listen, use a torque wrench for this stuff. I don't use one 99% of the time. I just ugga-dugga, good ugga-dugga. But this is my rule. Outside the motor, you're fine. Inside the motor, torque wrench, period. Because you don't want to have to get into your motor because you didn't tighten up something right. Now it's rattling around, so you got to do all this stuff again. Don't do that. About to get to it. I'm about to hit the Nissan dealership and the service department, or the parts department, to get some factory Nissan gasket maker. Throw the cover back on, and then that has to set for a while. I'm not gonna rush it. And that's the other thing too. If y'all don't know, gasket maker is supposed to set most of it like 24 hours. So you put it on there hand tight, just to where you see the gasket maker kind of move out from under whatever you're sealing, and then leave it for a long while so it actually gets hard like a gasket, and then you tighten it down. If you just tighten it while it's still soft, that's like using a gasket before it's made into a gasket. Don't make no sense. So, yup, I meant that. So, engine mounts, I'm about to get those done while it's sealing up, while the gasket maker is setting. And then I'm gonna go rip. Cause I got these good wheels on. Oh, I got something to show y'all too. Oh, bro, I'm wet. Shit's about to be wet for real. Good Astros in the 10.5 plus 12 offset. Got some other random ESRs or something. I have no clue what those are for real. And I got my good Auto Hans. And I got my good stock Yankees. And I got some more wheels on the way. I'm up when it comes to wheels. I'm up. I've never been so up in my life. I've always wanted nice big wheels. So now I'm finna have 10.5 wide wheels with good offset. And I'm stunting, period. Got good 265 35s. Which I'm not gonna run in the front. I'm gonna run those 235 45s on the Astros. But, because it's rubbing, you know. But, alright. I'm finna get this stuff, come back, get to it. Alright, y'all, it's the next day. Got this all done. Motor's all ready to be started. This is gonna be a legit first start. I haven't started it yet. I'm kind of tripping because anything with timing, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm a great mechanic and I've done a lot of stuff and a lot of motors and a lot of trances and a lot of chassis swaps and all this stuff, but I've just never messed with timing yet. So I'm a little nervous. Always nervous on the first start after a big job. You always don't let nobody tell you different. So I got the air boxes on, the maps on, everything sealed up with OEM Nissan gasket maker. Just threw some royal purple in there, and the time has come. So we shall see. Grab my keys. Oh gosh. Oh Lord, this is scary, guys. I'm real spooked out. Well, ain't nothing to it but to do it. Oh, it sounds great. It's real cold, so I'm not gonna lie, it sounds like it's cam. The motor sounds good, but I ain't gonna lie, it don't sound the most smooth. So, guess read some codes. Okay, guys, I just started it back up. It's pretty smooth. Kind of sounds how it did before, so I don't know what happened right there, but oh my God. You could tell, huh? I was scared. I was like, damn. I knew it was straight, bro. I knew I didn't mess nothing up. There it is. That's how it's supposed to sound. Let's go, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, ooh, bro, that scared me, bro. Oh my God, why did it jump scare me like that, bro? God. Oh yeah. Well, she's back in action, boys. You know how it goes. This drives great. Got good power, these wheels. Oh my Lord. Bro, that shit is crazy. So now got the bushings, gallery gaskets, water pump, and the motor mounts done. So now I need to adjust my handbrake. That'll be the next thing we do to get ready for the track. So shit, I'll throw in a couple driving clips and then see y'all next time. We're out here, we're gonna do some test runs. It's a cool little spot we found. So, yup, I got these big old 265s on. Some fresh meat. Looking good. Like I said, we gonna hit it a couple times. Should get some little good tandems with my boy. turned out pretty good, so hope y'all like it. So that's going to be the end of today's video. Next video, just going to do a couple more things, small things to get ready, and then track event. So hope y'all like it, guys. Come back, watch again, like, subscribe, all that. Appreciate it for real. Peace.